coach coming in, they knew their season was over after tonight regardless, and they've kind of played like a team with nothing to lose. Did you sort of sense that as well?
We talked about it yesterday during practice, Friday's practice. Very dangerous team, very dangerous situation. They're playing for the ability to upset Cal Poly in their home court last game of the year. They've been playing a zone all year long. We had 2 or 3 different ways to approach the zone. When we played them down there the first time, our zone offense was highly effective, and we went with it the first half and could not get any rhythm off it. And so we had to make an adjustment at halftime, and we decided that what we needed to do was try to pick up full court. We needed to get some transition baskets. We needed to try to get to the free throw line. We needed to try to do a number of things. And I thought at that point the game had become a chess match. It was a stagnant game. There wasn't any flow. We were not aggressive enough. I thought that the zone made us hesitant, both offensively and defensively. I can't remember the stats that I'm going to share with you. I can't remember happening in 30 years coaching. One was we only had 1 foul in the first half. Now that's our fault for not being aggressive enough. You got to be aggressive enough to me. And that foul happened 2 minutes into the game. I think Vic got a quick foul, or no, when he first got his. So within 5 minutes. So they went another 15 minutes without fouling. The second stat is we never went to free throw line one time. And I can't remember coaching a game in my life that never took a free throw. Now, I'm not complaining about the referees. I'm complaining about our aggressiveness. And that's driving. That's crashing the boards. At halftime, they had 8 offensive boards and we had 1. And we looked at all the stats, we looked at how we're playing, how we're shooting, and I thought, wow, it's a 4-point game. We just need to tighten up a few things to go. I think the tightness of that game, we played the rest of the night not to lose it. So credit to them for sticking with it and really having a nice tight zone. And I couldn't find the right buttons to push for us to become aggressive. We went 3 different approaches, and I think the general theme was aggressiveness. We just, no matter what one of the 3 offenses we're running, we've got to be more aggressive, and something we got to learn. And the best part was I thought previous 3 weeks was the most aggressive and consistent. We were playing games to win. We had won, I believe, 3 in a row and 4 of our previous 5 games. It felt like the aggressiveness and confidence was coming along. And so we now have to learn how to do that on Thursday. Get back to that confidence and aggressiveness. And, you don't want, it's okay to lose a game, but you don't want to lose the war too. I felt like tonight we lost the game and we lost the war because they were the more aggressive team.
How do you expect this group to react? I mean, you have a handful of days to prepare for a talented UC Davis team. What do you expect to get from the group this week?
Well, the reason I love this team is because they could have buried their heads and hung their heads and cried about the season about 5 weeks ago. At one point we were 0-5 in conference play. A lot of teams pack it in there. And this team, Shipley's leadership, Zach Gordon's consistency and effort, Kyle Toast has a laser-like focus and not going to be deterred very much, that they just bounce back. And the supporting cast of guys aren't mopers. They're not head hangers. They're not finger pointers. Guys won't come in the office and ask about this or that. Guys won't point and talk bicker behind each other's back. If that was the case, then we would never have turned around this last month the way we have, where it's been a team that can go down and beat anybody on any court. And we've proven that by knocking off the top 4 teams. So for us now, we're going to have to face a UC Davis team that's coming off the same situation. They got beat pretty badly by Irvine today. And we got beat badly on our home court. So you got 2 teams that kind of licking their wounds a little bit and facing each other in the first round of the tournament.
Joe, there's a series of possessions in the second half there where it seemed like every loose ball Santa Barbara was getting, and even when you guys were getting open shots, they were missed, and some of the shots, maybe weren't the greatest shots too. What's it like when you kind of see that momentum going in that way and kind of snowballing like that? Obviously, you say you try to change a few things, but sitting on the sidelines there, the guys who I talked to, Ridge and Luke, described it as frustrating. I mean,
it's terribly frustrating. It's frustrating about it as a coach. You only can do so much, and you go through practice, you go through video, and you change the offense, you change the defense, and try to tell guys, hey, reverse it, share it, attack, but kids are kids and coaches are coaches. We don't do a perfect job coaching, and they don't do a perfect job playing or shooting all the time. So what we have to do is be able to, we accept each other's, shortcomings and errors and missed shots and bad calls. It was a very, very tight game for us. You could feel the tightness that we played. It was almost like, well, we should win this because it's senior night. We've got to win it because it's blue-green rivalry. But we're going on to the tournament tomorrow on Monday and Tuesday, and we just had senior night. So I'm going to evaluate some different things and how we approach that in the years to come. I think there's a lot of we had our awards banquet last night, and that kind of throws it for a different feeling. Instead of we were out till 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, family and this and that. It just kind of feels like there's a lot more going on than I really need to have going on. Maybe make it too big of a deal and lose track of what the game plans are and so forth. But guys want to do more than they need to do sometimes. And our assist turnover ratio tonight, and we had 7 assists and 12 turnovers. You can't beat a zone with 7 assists and 12 turnovers. You have a chance to beat a zone with 12 assists and 7 turnovers. Making a simple pass, making a simple cut, that's where I felt a lot of guys doing more than they needed to do at that given time, and so we have to be able to rep it out a little bit. Davis is a very good defensive team. They play primarily man-to-man, but they'll throw bouts of zone in there as well.
You said that they had played the zone the last time you guys played them, but it seemed like they were really prepared for what you guys wanted to do, and their game plan seemed pretty sound. What was it about how they were playing and what they were doing, how they were prepared?
Well, they didn't. The last time when we set the outside screen on the top guard, the wing came up and stopped them, and we were able to fan the ball to the corner. We had quite a few uncontested three-point shots in the corner last time. This time the guy didn't come. He he stayed home a little bit more on the shooter, allowed the penetration to get a little deeper, and so you're forced with trying to make a couple of those tight shots. Ridge had a couple inside there, about 12 to 8 foot bank shot, glass shots. So they stayed home more, and so the threes that we got, and they stayed out more. And so that's when we went back to high post zone offense, because now the high post was open. And then from there, we had to be able to make the plays. And then we just hadn't spent enough time with that, quite frankly. We weren't accustomed to that. We had the Northridge game, and I want to talk about two completely different style games. Northridge is man-to-man, denial, pressure, attack, aggressive. And so we spent 3 days preparing for that, did a nice job countering that and attacking that. And we had one practice in about an hour to say, okay, well, remember, here's what Santa Barbara does with the zone, and here's how we played pretty well against them the first time. And then about halftime, you're like, hey, things aren't looking good. So you go back to option B, and then at the end of the half, we actually went to option C, which is attacking through the baseline. And that's where Luke Meikle had a couple of shots there. But too little too late, including the full court press, too little too late, including trying to double team and so forth. So hats off to them. Great coach, and Coach Williams is the veteran of the Big West. He's one of the second oldest coach in the Division I on the West Coast. Been at the same school, so it's not his first rodeo. Obviously, they suffered injuries this year, and some other players leaving the program. So we're simply pleased that we're in the postseason, brand new season. It hurts me a ton right now, but I gotta move on pretty quick here and say, look, guys, that season's over. The season is over. It doesn't leave quickly, but we need to be able to be pretty positive about Monday's, first film session. We'll give the guys Sunday off. Monday will be the first film session, and see if we can do what we've wanted to do all year: play our best basketball in Anaheim. And this hiccup isn't representative of where they've been the last 3 weeks. So I think this will be something we'll learn from, move on.